Alright, everyone. Here's the robber who's a hostage, but let's add some drama. James arrives, catching Doug off guard. From the two-person meal, Doug's on a date. He wants to flee ASAP, but it's too late. Claire returns from the restroom to find a stranger at the table. James never expected Doug's date to be the bank manager. Subtitles, or he knew early on, choosing this awkward time to appear. James sits and gossips about his heroic bond with Doug. They've known each other since 6, yet Doug never mentions Claire. He claims Doug's a mysterious guy. Meanwhile, James doesn't know Claire saw his tattoo. Doug dumps in to block her view. At home, James is furious. He's like, seriously, you're dating the one person who could recognize us. This is a disaster waiting to happen, because they're gearing up for the next job and no room for mistakes. Doug is strongly against it. The next guards look like they just stepped off a battlefield in full SWAT gear. James can't wait. He's done his time and just wants to cash in before the clock runs out. Doug owes him big time, so he agrees to one last job before hanging up. Before the action begins, Doug swings by the prison to visit his pop. Might be the last time he sees him. He musters the courage to ask, "Why didn't you ever?" Dad avoids the question, still hurt by Mom's leaving. They clash, creating an awkward vibe. On the heist day, the fat man hired someone to grab hair from a salon to clean leather, leaving no trace. They disguise themselves, wear gloves, ensure no fingerprints, then speed off in a stolen car to the rural credit union. The target? An armored car filled with cash. They've got the rolls down pat. Deb takes out one guard while James jumps in to take control of the other. Cash is flying into pockets like it's a pie. Otta. Aiden's on lookout, and the chubby guy is monitoring police frequency when surprised. The driver holds Doug at gunpoint, thinking the robbers will just surrender, but James pulls a gun and takes out a guard like it's Tuesday. Robbing in Boston ain't a big deal, but when lives are at stake, the cops mean business. Seeing escape is impossible. James raises his automatic rifle and lets loose a hail of bullets. Cops duck for cover like they're playing dodgeball. Doug seizes the moment, slams into reverse, and floors it down another street. No matter how skilled he is, in this tight squeeze, he can't show off those mad driving skills. The chubby guy shows up for backup, while James hops out to brawl with the cops. The rest are busy ferrying cash and dousing the car in gas, ready to blow up the car to block the cops. What a wild ride. Once in the clear, they toss a handful of hair out and switch cars to make their getaway. So professional. FBI found no clues. The sheriff, furious, arrested suspects next morning with no evidence. Just a good old revenge haul, and to make matters worse, the injured guard's still breathing. The sheriff secretly hoping for his demise. Then they could nail Doug with a murder charge. Without a plea deal, he's stuck in prison forever, while criminals stroll free. Talk about a raw deal. The sheriff repeatedly combs through case files, thinking Claire might be hiding something. So he calls the bank for a checkup, only to find out Claire's quit. Now he's extra convinced Claire's the inside woman. He orders his team to tap Claire's phone, desperate to find a clue. Doug realizes it's time to bow out, giving Claire a diamond necklace. Some things are just too hard to say aloud. He just wants to say, let's run away together to a place where no one knows us and live our best life. But Claire's hesitating. She's read the neighborhood paper about those punks bugging her getting knocked down. One of them got seriously injured. She's got a feeling someone's got her back. Doug doesn't say it out loud, but clearly shows where he stands. He definitely doesn't want Claire getting hurt. Those jerks deserved what they got. Karma can be a real party crasher. Claire's phone gets tapped, and the sheriff is like, no way. It means the hostage has a connection to the robber. The sheriff himself visits, dropping the bomb that they've identified the suspect, trying to gauge if she's in the loop. When Claire sees Doug's picture, her heart shatters like glass. Worse still, she faces charges, suspected of aiding the robber. James is itching to pull off another big job, and the big boss has laid out the entire plan, just waiting for Doug to jump in. Doug's dead set on hanging up his criminal hat, but with the cops on their tails, he advises James to play smart and not draw attention. But James is stubborn. They end up in an all-out brawl like Batman losing his powers, just helpless chaos. Once temper's cool, James shares some history. 10 years ago, he took a hit for Doug, and it landed him 9 years in prison. He doesn't want anything in return, but there's no way he's letting Doug walk away. Classic overprotective friend. Doug is super grateful for everything James has done. Since Dad went to jail, it's been James' family that took him in. But Doug's had enough of the crime life. He knows to start fresh. He needs to get away from this town. He realizes going solo is nearly impossible. So he reaches out to the boss, offering some cash as a "you're not gonna miss me, are you?" buyout. He thought it'd be enough to save face for the boss, but the boss is having none of it.